Hello again, Yosemite Church. As we continue to go through this week and as we continue to wrestle with the realities of the fact that we are trying to face what may be not helpful in our lives, that are a part of our culture, that are part of our family tradition, but sometimes that's just so difficult. And it's difficult because we're so familiar with what is this family tradition, with what is this cultural practice, that we can't even see whether it's good or bad. In that sense, it's like asking a fish what wet is, right? A fish wouldn't even really understand the concept of liquid because it's so close to it. It's so inundated inside of it until it's removed. And then I tell you what, that fish really, really misses wet. It really understands wet as soon as it's removed from it, as soon as it no longer has that to rely on. And just like that, in our lives, there are things that we have built up for our protection, for our comfort, or that we just haven't even realized that this is just a family practice that has been a part of our life, whether it be exploding in anger or the contrary, right? Not talking about any emotion, or take your pick. What sort of family tradition do you have that you maybe have never even had the opportunity to examine purely because it's so a part of your daily life? You're so close to it, you can't get the distance to see. Well, today, this is what I encourage you to do. When we have this time to think about how our family lives affect us, try to separate ourselves from our day-to-day walk and really start to analyze, okay, where are the things that bring anxiety into my life, that build me up, right? And another way to ask the question is, when you are full of emotion, how did you get there? What's going on that you are so practiced in this that you are responding this way? Well, one way to find those things outside of just continuing to practice is to gain that distance, to try to separate ourselves. Now, there's an easy way to do this. First and foremost, it's to encourage accountability into our lives, to take people, especially those who we trust, and ask them to analyze us, to think about what we are doing, and ask them even further to encourage us, to challenge us when we aren't doing something that is healthy for us, that is actually hurting us. In that sense, what we're doing is we're trying to build accountability. We're trying to encourage us to be better always. And this, first and foremost, is the beauty of small groups. This is where we can live life with people around us, learn to see if they can be trusted, and once that trust is gained, have them speak into our lives, have them wrestle with us through the challenges that might be a family curse instead of a family blessing. That might be a tradition that no longer needs to be a part of your life. That might be this cultural point that has been given down from person to person in your family that you no longer want to pass to the next generations. And that's such a wonderful practice, but that's a scary thing, right? Anytime we allow people into our lives, there's always the opportunity that we get hurt. In fact, you cannot have people in your life without the reality that pain will come. So we must face it. We must wrestle through this. We must find ways to encourage others to keep us accountable. The Bible is filled with examples of Jesus especially walking with people, going outside of his comfort zone and pushing his way through so that he can continue to teach the disciples, to be with the ones that he loved, and to be with the ones who needed him. And we must do the same, because that really is the best way for us to remove ourselves from our context, to pull ourselves out of our family tradition and gain insight into what truly is going on in our life. We have to find that way to remove ourselves and gain perspective. Because if we don't, if we always continue to go forward thinking, this is just what I've always done, this is just who I've always been, I know no other way, then we will be trapped. We will be stuck in the reality of, this is who I am. So we encourage accountability. We encourage those who we trust. We encourage those who we see doing it well to speak into our lives, to come in and say, hey, I give you full permission to point out to me when you think I'm doing something inappropriate and I just don't even see it. When I'm doing something potentially sinful and I don't understand it. We need that accountability. We need those mentors in our life. And that truly is such a strong argument for why we participate in groups and why we pursue to have people around us. Because like the Bible says, from the very start, Jesus knew in the Garden of Eden that it was not good that man should be alone. And so he built into us families, this great thing, but families are imperfect. So we need more and more Christian accountability in our lives so that we can continue to grow, we can continue to transform so that our families are more and more a blessing as they should be going forward.